This is Selecta J-Cut here. Thing called CULTCHA Clash Live. We're about to do a treat feeding temptations with the Infinite Felines. We also have the Infinite Felines GoFundMe right there at the bottom of the screen. If you can help out, it's much appreciated. Today I'm going to be doing a special on a band that was influential to me growing up, a band called J.F.A, Jodie Foster's Army. They're from Arizona, Phoenix, and I was in Kansas City, Missouri when I was listening to them in my youth, but they always made Arizona seem real cool, and their label Placebo Records was also very influential on me at that time. So anyway, I'm going to run in here and feed these cats real quick while I do that. You can enjoy the view, and I'll put on a little tune. I'll try not to play too much of it so not have a copyright strike here, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to mute the mic for just one moment. Okay, treat time with temptations. Take one. Here we go. Yes, I will be live in just one moment. I realized I forgot to give one of my cats treats. She has her own bedroom. I'll be right back. Guys. Free treats over here, you guys. Okay. Good. You guys be entertaining, okay? Live. Okay, sorry for not having everything prepared there. I was trying to combine the treat time with Temptations and with my little live stream that I had planned. Well, not really planned for today. It's just something that I decided to do. I did a short stream talking about the dead Kennedys the other day, and I'm going to share this on my Facebook while I'm talking. So sorry if I get sidetracked or distracted or just trail off, but anyway, I was doing the show on the dead Kennedys the other day, and just because I had woke up in a mood and started listening to them, and to get me out of the mood, and just felt like it was an important topic for that day to discuss. I remembered after I had done the episode in speech class, and it must have been my sophomore year. I was subjected to cancel culture at that time, some PC policing, because I wanted to do my speech on the dead Kennedys, particularly on J.F.A, but the speech teacher, Mr. Knowlton, said no, that name's very offensive to me, and he's like, the Kennedys were very important to me, and I'm like thinking, well, that's kind of not really the point here, but anyway, I was definitely subjected to some suppression there in my high school. I'm gonna let Gemma in the room if I can. Give me just another moment. Gemma, come in, Gemma. Come on, Gemma. Come on, Gemma. Quick, come on. Come on. Get in here quick. Come on, JD. You can come too. Come on. You wanna come in? Come in quick. You don't want in? Before I start, this is JD. He doesn't like to be picked up, but he's my little junior here. JD. See how long he's never really been in this room, so he might be interested for a minute. He might get freaked out. He's in here with Gemma, so he likes that. Hopefully the fan isn't going to make too much noise here. Oh yeah, so anyway, I did trail off and get sidetracked there, but I was talking about getting censored in my speech class with Mr. Knowlton. I think that was his name. I could be mistaken on that, but that's what comes to my mind. And So anyway, the other day I did a little stream. I pulled out all the LPs and just kind of talked about them and showed them. I didn't really. While I was thinking about doing the show in my head, it's like I always have these things. Oh yeah, I want to talk about this song and that song. Like Stars and Stripes of Corruption's a good one that I didn't really mention, and songs like Chicken Shit Conformist from the Dead Kennedys that essentially like kind of, I mean, you know, I was maturing at the time, and those kind of songs really like spoke to me because it's like you see all the scene that I was involved in, and it was like there's a lot of conformity, you know. So anyway, I wanted to talk about those songs yesterday or the other day, and I didn't. Of course, Nazi punks fuck off. I mean, I think the line "punk ain't no religious cult, punk means thinking for yourself," that pretty much, you know, if anything can sum it up, that pretty much does right there. So anyway, I did want to mention one other Jello project that I kind of forgot about, the Witch Trials. This was like an experimental electronic, sort of industrial, I guess you'd say, type of project. I think J.F.A was involved in this, and I forget who all the members involved. I'm sure it says on here somewhere, but maybe not. Anyway, but this was a cool project, and I want to say it was like 82. I could be wrong on that too. I'm trying to find a date on that. Well, I don't see a date, but I think there's a date down there, but it's really small. But I'm gonna say 82. I could be wrong. And I still haven't shared this on the Facebook like I was intending to do. I really need to have things prepared. I've got so much going on in my life right now that I'm just like doing things constantly. From the time I wake up, I'm like either blogging or I've been doing surveys on this Amazon Mechanical Turk thing. That can be time consuming, but anyway, so I'm just like constantly doing something, but I'm never quite prepared when it comes time to like streaming and that sort of thing. But I guess that'll be the way my streams go, is I'll just kind of, they'll be happen as they go, and I'll be pulling things up on the screen that I didn't have ready, and anyway, as soon as I get this shared on my Facebook, I'll start talking about J.F.A. Yeah, I wish I could play music, but I know I don't want to. I mean, out of respect for the band, and also just out of YouTube's not going to let me stream if I'm playing other people's music all the time. So I'm trying to do more talk-based things, which I'm not. You may be able to tell that I'm not real comfortable public speaking. That's, you know, I've had a little bit of experience with it, but it's not something that is supernatural to me, or that I'm really like energized by doing. I guess it's something that I feel like I've got to do right now. Okay, we're shared on. I mean, we're up on YouTube. Yeah, I mean it's something I feel like I need to do for myself right now, but it's not my particular forte, I don't think. So I'm getting more used to it. I'm trying to stream as frequently as possible and just blab. I don't know. Sometimes I get some real chatty weed, and I wish I could like harness that, like always have that ready, have some really good weed to smoke right before that gets me chatty, but it always kind of depends. I did bring a joint with me in case I want to get distracted some more. Damn. I'm trying to open this on the YouTube so I can share it. My computer's getting super slow. Been having those problems a lot lately. Working on making, that's another thing, I'm working on making room on both of my computers, the hard drives, like so much video on them. I'm like, and I don't want to just delete it all, but I probably should. Oh shit, I did not mean to hit that fucking button. God damn it. Yeah, I wish I had had this, at least the YouTube loaded up on my screen before this, so, because my computer's so slow. It takes forever to load. Alright, let's share. So if you are tuning in, thank you. Culture Clash Live with Selecta J-Cut. We got Infinite Felines, raising money for the spay and neuter of all our local cat community. Not a lot of ferals. I saw a disturbing story on the Nextdoor app this morning. Somebody was talking about this park over here. They found mutilated cats lately, so I know. I mean, we got all these ferals that are outside, so there's not too much we can really do to protect them. We try to herd them to the backyard, but you know, cats are a little territorial, and so they all kind of spread out. And a lot of them stay at the neighbors across the street's house. I found a little dead kitten this morning in the road. Somebody had run it over. So yeah, it's dangerous out there, and we do what we can for them, but I know it's never enough. We're trying though. I think that getting them spayed and neuters is really the best thing we could do, just to keep the population from going. And we did get way behind on that. We're getting caught up on it. Had a few setbacks along the way, but anyway. God, this computer is so slow sometimes. Anybody wants to donate a laptop? I'd love to accept it. Ah, really? Oh my God. I got it hooked up to Ethernet too. I don't know why this is being so super slow right now. Oh my God. Are you gonna do this or what? Christ's sake, man. Alright. I don't know if I'm gonna get this shared or not, so hopefully anybody's watching this. I'm about to give up on the laptop. Whew. Yeah, let me type one word on a post, and then it's just stuck. Like it won't backspace, it won't type. It's doing nothing at all. Just looking back at me. So anyway, guess we'll do this. Hey Gemma. Gemma might try to jump in my lap at some point. That's usually her forte, her MO, I guess. Anyway. Alright, today I'll be talking about J.F.A. They're a band from Phoenix that I was listening to in my teenage years. I had some images to go along with this too. I think I didn't forget. Let's see if I can do this here. Watch, this computer is going to start acting like an asshole too. Yeah. Here we go. All right, there's an image of me at about I think I was like 13 or 14. I was probably 13. That was my first skateboard. So Veriflex. Yeah, I was definitely more on the. I always consider myself more punk than skate in the skate punk world. You know, I liked to ride around on a skateboard, but I was never competitive like my friends. I was just more like, I was content to bring a boombox and keep the music going, basically. And anyway, let's see if I can find it. Thought I had another image there. I don't know if this one's gonna load or not. It looks like it's having issues. August 85. It says these are August 85, so yeah, I would have been just 13. That makes sense, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, so this was, let's see here. This one here, that was about the height of my shredding abilities there. I was definitely more into street skating than there was actually a pro BMX rider, Dennis McCoy, who lived in my neighborhood and ended up buying a house directly across the street from us a little when he got older. And he had a half pipe in his backyard. And my friends and I'd go over there. He'd let us skate on it sometimes. And, yeah, I was never good. I was always afraid to drop in. Shit, I sucked. But anyway, my friends were pretty good. Yeah, so that one too. That was right after I'd seen Black Flag. So yeah, they were like that was my a week before my 13th birthday that I saw Black Flag. And then so I would have been just turned 13 there in that picture. All right. Take that down. Well, I'll leave it up for now. Fuck it. So, back to the topic. I'll start with the first J.F.A. record I ever bought. So I got this one, Mad Gardens, and it's kind of a cool record because it's a story about a place that they played at, and it came with a lyric sheet, which was always handy with punk records because a lot of times the singers you didn't necessarily understand. I don't think this copy that I have now has the lyric sheet in it, but anyway, and then on the B side, the Charlie Brown, their version of the Linus and Lucy theme, that one always stuck with me because my mom always made me take piano lessons growing up, so that was a tune that I'd always tried to play, and it's a difficult one to play on the piano. Well, for somebody like me that's not really skilled, but anyway, so yeah, that was the first one I got from them. That got me into them, Mad Gardens, and also the label Placebo. I remember this center label has kind of a pill on it. I remember I had to look up what placebo meant when I was a kid, and when I first got into J.F.A. So, anyway, but the label was, I first noticed the label on this record here. So around that time, I think it was when I was buying the shirt that I have on in this picture. It's a J.F.A. shirt. It's got like a devilish looking character. This is skate hell on the inside of a cape. I don't know if it was supposed to say skate to hell or not, but it looked like it just said skate hell. Yeah, I remember my mom bought me that shirt at U Animal U skate shop in Kansas City, Kansas. And she asked me what J.F.A. stood for, and I said Jodie Foster's Army. She laughed. I didn't even know what the meaning of the group was at the time, so she had to explain it to me. She told me about John Hinckley Jr., how he was said he was inspired by Jodie Foster's character in Taxi Driver when he tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan. So luckily my mom was a leftist, I guess. She wasn't a big Reagan fan. She was cool with me listening to songs that were about glorifying the assassination attempt on the president. Fun. This is their first 7-inch blatant localism. This one I never actually had this record back in the day. I had heard it, but it wasn't one of the ones I ever actually bought back then. It's pretty hefty price tag on it these days. I bought a couple copies at one time, and then I ended up selling another copy. But they redo Alice Cooper's Out of School on this one. They got the thrash skate punk like Jodie Foster's Army and Beach Blanket Bong out, which they always had interesting tempo changes in their music to me. It's I got tired of hearing just the same 300 BPM tempos song after song on some of these hardcore bands, and J.F.A. were always a little more on the willingness to experiment side, sort of the way the Dead Kennedys were, I'd say. Like they do surf type songs, they did covers, they did war songs. I remember I'll get to the live album a bit, but they did Lowrider on their live album, which was a learning experience for me as a kid because I didn't really know about war. And let's see here, kind of getting these mixed up, but anyway, I'll go to the next one. Pretty sure that Valley of the Yakes was before Untitled. I'm not positive on that, but anyway, this is another one I got when I was a kid, and I had to rebuy these in my adult years. Went through phases. Got really into but when I got into DJing, I'd say I really started buying more dance oriented music. I was into hip hop and reggae and industrial. I like a lot of. I mean, I was always a punk fan, but you can't always afford to keep all your records when you're growing up. So sometimes you gotta trade in some to get some new ones, and that's what happened to my J.F.A. records. I don't believe that my copy had the lyric sheet when I was young, so I actually got a copy with the lyric sheet. This one had started off with Kick You, which that was their songs were always pretty fun, even when they were violent or serious. They were always fun. Great Equalizer, another Ronnie Reagan dedication. Preppy. See here, they do a surf cover, Walk Don't Run. Guess What? That's got a really funky intro and it goes into the thrash, but the tempo changes were always the thing that I associated with J.F.A. And tempo changes and Phoenix, because they always were pretty blatant about their localism, I guess. Untitled. This one I actually I never had on vinyl as a kid. I think I had it on. I'm pretty sure I had the cassette. They do a P-Funk cover on this one, Standing on the Verge, which is another band that in my teenage years I really didn't know P-Funk. I mean, I probably knew of them and knew the name, but I don't think until Atomic Dog I don't know if I really listened to any P-Funk before that. Like my sister probably did, because she hung out at Skateland and they probably played that kind of stuff there, but I was hanging out in the streets with my friends, and in my block it was probably mostly Bachman Turner Overdrive or AC/DC playing. So yeah, P-Funk it's a nice little introduction. They do a Damned cover on here. The Day Walt Disney Died, that was always a good one. Pipe Truck was a hybrid, kind of a mashup, as you might say, of Venture's Pipeline and the Dead Kennedys Police Truck. So they were a real creative band. They had the Live 84 album. This one this was one of the, I probably got this one like the third J.F.A. album that I ever got. It's where I heard like the War cover, Lowrider. most of the songs off the first 7-inch. I probably heard most of them originally on this one. Insert on this one. Let's see if I got it. Yeah, they always had cool, similar to the Dead Kennedys and the collage type inserts that they'd have. I guess not quite as outlandish as the Dead Kennedys, but collages were always cool. So then it was around '86 that I saw J.F.A. at the Outhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. It's if you're not familiar with it, there is a documentary that came out several years ago on the Outhouse, so you should check that out. They were probably my maybe not my second hardcore show, because I'd probably been to a few other local shows, but it was like I saw Black Flag in '85, and then I saw J.F.A. in '86, and so it was like the second probably major hardcore show that I had seen. And my friend Brian from around the block with me came with me. He's younger than me, so it was probably an experience for him too. I remember he and I sat on the stage and watched him set up. Brandon was setting up the keyboard, and my friend Brian's like, I didn't know J.F.A. had a keyboard player. I was like, yeah, they have some keyboards in their songs, but which really came out on the next one, Nowhere Blossoms. This one, they kind of expanded their sound a little bit on this one, and I might have actually got the chronology mixed up. I can't remember. My movie might have came out before this one, but these are both kind of similar. Like the indie alternative scene was kind of expanding a little bit, and you didn't have to do 1-minute songs anymore. Didn't have to be thrash all the time. These were more musically inclined pieces here, and then my movie 7-inch, similar instrumental on there, and a couple vocal tracks. So that was mid 80s, 86 or so, I think that these were out. Yeah, 86. So after that time, I kind of went on to other musical directions, so I'm not really familiar with a lot of the music that they've done since then. I've checked out a few things here and there. They do have I mentioned a couple of these compilations that I pulled out because I pulled them out. Amok. I had to buy this one recently. I never had this compilation back in the day. I always knew of it. You get the Toxic Shock catalog was my source for everything, deciding what I wanted to get. And then you go to the record stores, because I didn't really have money to mail order when I was a little kid. But you get a little bit of money and go to the record stores and you look for these things. But this was probably released before I was really out digging for these kind of records. I think this might have been like 81 or so, but it has J.F.A.'s Bouncer on it, along with a lot of interesting stuff, which pull out another. Got some cat drama going on beside me here. This is Dry Lungs Volume 3 compilation. There was a series on Placebo that was industrial experimental noise, maybe mental, a lot of a lot of European bands, and I think there's some New York bands. Not Controlled Bleeding was on here, but maybe they were on one of the other ones. Greater Than One was even on this compilation, who ended up doing a lot with Wax Trax and went on to be John and Julie. They do a lot of techno. They became big in the rave era. But anyway, so that was one that I never had back in the day. I always wanted these Dry Lungs compilations. Call it my midlife crisis collection when I buy all these old records. This is one that I bought for my friend Billy as a birthday present in high school, and I had to purchase it myself a few years ago. This copy is really rough. I don't know, the vinyl looks fine, but it plays like really poor quality. I can't remember. I didn't hear the one I bought back in the day enough to know if it was like that too or not. I can't really remember. My ear wasn't probably as finely tuned to bad quality vinyl pressings, but yeah, this flip side vinyl fanzine, it's got cool songs on it. Excuse me, I gotta drink some water here. The J.F.A, the cover, the Alice Cooper cover, Out of School, they do a live version on here. DI's Johnny's Got a Problem, that was always a big one for me on Misfits Attitude. This copy that I bought doesn't have the zine that came with it. It was not included, but maybe one day I'll find one of those. Yeah, so that pretty much covers the vinyl here. I also, since I'm on the topic of J.F.A, I wanted to mention, see if I can pull up my browser on the screen here. They have an event coming up. Actually, they have a few events, but I only have a link for one of them here. But they're supposedly playing at a skate shop a few days before this one. Just another moment. Browser. There we go. So this is a Club Placebo. I'd read about this place. I haven't been there. Looks like it's about 3rd Avenue in McDowell, maybe 2nd. And it's on, let's see here, Saturday the 15th of October. So it's going to be, they're doing an acoustic performance and then a panel discussion. And it's 3 of the members, and I believe Mike Bam, the drummer, is I think the only one who isn't going to be there. Well, I think it says on here. Give me a minute. I won't just speculate, I guess. I'll get the facts for you. I can find the tab to open it. Did I miss it? I think it's... Oh, Seymour, there we go. Don Pendleton, Brian Brannon, and Michael Cornelius. A live panel discussion. I will mention one more record while I'm here. Let me pull it out real quick. Alright, so this is the Father Figures album. I saw these guys open for Public Image in 2012, I think it was, somewhere around there. Album's called Heavy Lifting. It's a really good album. I've only listened to it a few times, to be honest. I got a ton of records, so a lot of times I buy stuff. Listen to it like when it's new a lot, and then I'll kind of like put it on the back burner. I'll probably jam this one today, in fact, since I got it out. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There's yeah, honestly, I'm gonna have to listen to this one. It's been a long time, so I can't really recommend the hottest tracks, but I know the whole album's enjoyable. I definitely played it through several times when it was new. Anyway, Heavy Lifting, and this is on Slope Records, another Phoenix label. Not really sure if they're still active. I mean, this is only a few years old, but I'm trying to remember the last thing I've seen on Slope. Anyway, I feel like they're still active though. Alright, so yeah, if you can make it on Saturday the 15th at Club Placebo in Phoenix. That's 119 West McDowell Road. Entrance in the rear, they say. And doors open at 6 p.m. Says there's no cover but a $20 suggested donation. Bring your own whatever, I guess. Yeah, and there's some other people that are on the panel. I'm not familiar with everybody on there. I'm sure maybe there's somebody from Placebo. Or, yeah, a couple names that are vaguely familiar. I feel like it's some of the label guys from Placebo, but I could be wrong on that. So don't hold me to it. Don't quote me on that. I ain't said shit. So anyway, I think I'm probably going to wrap this one up here. I appreciate you joining in if you've watched. Please like, share, follow, all those things. We're trying to keep a more regular presence here on Culture Clash International, covering music, politics, comedy, whatever the hell else. A lot of days I'm just on here listing things on eBay or trying to declutterize my spare room. We're trying to make it into an office / arts and crafts room. Yeah, and if you can help out Infinite Felines, we got the GoFundMe on the screen here. I also have we're accepting direct donations at my PayPal. I have that on the top of the screen. And we have the Culture Clash International, the GoFundMe for that too. The website is kind of in limbo right now because my payment didn't go through on it, so I'm trying to get money in my account to cover that before that hits again. So hopefully the website's gonna remain active. I'm doing everything I can to keep it up, but could definitely use any support that anyone is willing and able to give. So if you're able to, we greatly appreciate it. Either if you want to help out with the cats, the Infinite Felines. We're using that for the spay and neuter fund, as well as some veterinary expenses that we're going to be trying to cover with some of our older cats that are having some health issues. So if you're able to help out, please do. The GoFundMes are on the screen. PayPal link is also on the QR code for PayPal is on the screen. You can make direct donations to me, which will go to the ones that PayPal will either go to the Culture Clash Fund or the Felines Fund, whichever needs it worse at the moment. So if you can help out, it's greatly appreciated. Big up to everybody who already has helped out, that is. And I guess the only thing that comes to mind is on the topic of J.F.A, not really on the topic of J.F.A, but it just popped into my mind is little Huey on Boondocks when he says, what's he say? Oh man, okay, I got it. When he says, Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan was the devil, and the government is lying to you about 9/11. So that's I think that's what I'll end this program on today. Like and subscribe. Thanks for joining. Peace out, y'all.